Topical and atypical. Unfiltered and independent. 100% authentic and intelligent.
Okay, welcome. Okay, let's start over. Hello, it is Christmas tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve, so I'm giving you festive. You see festive. I don't know why my mic is acting a fool today, but we're gonna really work on that. Okay, my mic is acting a fool. This is my Christmas Rockefeller Center mug. That's what this is. My Christmas Rockefeller Center mug. And I was trying to, you're like trying not that I'm trying not to be festive, but I'm not really in like a Christmas spirit these days. And then it had the nerve to snow this morning. Like the weather outside was frightful. And I'm just like, okay, the weather outside is frightful. Why is the weather outside frightful? That's not what that's making me feel like we are in the Christmas spirit. So here we are. Where are you? We always start the mornings with where you are. So tell me where you are. While you're telling me where you are, we got a lot to discuss today. We're going to talk about Luigi in court. Okay, we're going to talk about Luigi in court. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about Trump, who is just like, I am so sorry that my mic is acting up today. Okay, so I'm going to have to solve this another day. And I'll just have to use the regular computer mic today. Because this mic is acting up. So we're going to have to solve something. We're going to solve it. My mic is being very rude. Very rude. But so we're just going to have to use the regular computer mic today, and I will solve this by tomorrow because y'all know I don't play. We're also going to talk about, so I said we're going to talk about KOWACIE REEVES Jr. We're also going to get into LA County canceling $2 million in medical debt. We're also going to talk about DEI dying another death. And and then we're going to do the 12 days of Xmas. Yeah, the 12 days of Xmas. On the 12th day of Xmas, a cornball gave to me. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about the 12 days of Xmas. So let's see who's in here. We got, well, y'all was really just trying to tell me that my mic was off. So let's try this again. Tell me where you are. Tell me where you're at, what's going on, all that good stuff. While you are doing that, I will remind everybody, show your love by giving a super. Also, watch for 20 minutes. Also, and this is a big one, subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Yes, please subscribe to the channel. There's people right now who are watching on YouTube. Who are watching on Instagram. Don't watch on Instagram. Come over to YouTube and join us at YouTube Amanda Seales TV and subscribe. Please subscribe. All right, we got people in here. Let's see. We got Paris, France. Bonjour. I almost I almost had my Christmas in Paris mug today, but I didn't do it. We've got Central Jersey. We've got ATL. We've got Orlando. Let's see. We have got Washington State with some trees. We love it. We got the Yay area. We got New Orleans. Wow, somebody is watching from The Hague, Netherlands. We got some people to send your way. All right, Germany's in the house. Guten Tag. Chicago, Staten Island, Wisconsin. Are we calling Wisconsin Wisco? I didn't know that. We got more Chicago, more Connecticut, Alexandria. We got Alabama, Roll Tide. There's a classic ESPN commercial about Roll Tide that I love. Y'all, why do I always have food in my teeth? Always. I always have food in my teeth, and I don't even eat like that. I'm not even good at eating. I mean, clearly I'm also not like literally good at eating because I always have food in my teeth. All right, who else we got? We got Puerto Rico via Miami, Florida, Canterbury, UK. Is that right, Ducky? We love it. And Empress Jazzy came all the way from Instagram. Okay, came all the way from Instagram. Zeno, are you watching? Like, are you in Nigeria or are you of Nigerian descent? Or like, are you Nigerian? But are you like in Nigeria? Because that's the thing. Some of y'all be like, I'm watching from my cultural background. Zeno is in Nigeria. Wow! We in the motherland, y'all. We are in the motherland. All right, so we just hit Europe. We also hit all corners of the United States. We hit the motherland. All right. I don't think we had anyone that said they're in Asia right now, but we're popping. That's really what it means. We're popping. Anybody who is watching on Instagram, come over to YouTube. That's where we are. Come over to YouTube. I'm not even going to let you see my whole face. Come over to YouTube. Okay, so let's get into the show, man. We have quite a few. First of all, also, wait. Let me give myself props real quick. Because my store, AmandaLand Exports, I started selling things and I got a bit behind because of these not the holidays, because no, I didn't get behind because of the holidays. I got behind because, well, because my show got let go and I had to create this. And so I got behind, but yesterday I got all my orders out, y'all. I was in here straight factory working, okay? Just like that was me stuffing the envelopes, putting the label on, closing them, and then putting in the box. That's what it was, okay? And Tanzaleo said that they got their pin. Fabulous. Let me breathe for a second. Sorry, I just need to regulate my nervous system real quick. Okay. Thank you. Sometimes you got to do it, man. All right. So we got Ruben Cineas talking about they from Haiti. Sarah is West Asia. We got, you are not watching from Jordan. Are you seriously watching from Jordan? Assalamu alaikum. Gosh darn it. Man, that just gives me so many feels to know that we're able to be international in actuality and then also in content, because we are, of course, going to get I love y'all. I am actually watching from Jordan. Yes, thank you for getting me together. Brazil, we're in, y'all. We're in the continents, okay? And we got Carla in Central America. We're talking about Panama today. We're talking about Panama today. We got, oh my gosh, we got Lima, Peru. Hola. Oh, we also got H-Town, Harlem. We got H-Town, Houston, but then we got Harlem. Then we got the Hudson Valley. We got, so that's like, you know, a lot. We're doing, we have a Grenadian in the building. We have a Grenadian. La Grenada, why behind the big truck? Why behind the big truck? Okay. I love my people. I love my people. All right, y'all ready to get into today's show? Okay. You know, first and foremost, we have to expand our vocabulary. That is the first thing that we have to do every gosh darn day. And so let's get into it. Let's see what our word of the day is. You all, our word of the day is nethermost. Nethermost. Can anybody use nethermost in a sentence? Nethermost is an adjective meaning the lowest in position. Lowest in position. Can anybody on the chat use nethermost in a sentence? Let's see. Whew. Damn it, Maria. Maria came with the realness. Maria said, these bills got me nethermost. Okay.
Smart, funny, and
now let me just tell y'all, I'm gonna give you the smart, funny, and black, even if you aren't black. Okay, because that's just what the show is, and so that's just what it is. All right. Let's see. Woo. Sarah said, "This weather has me in my most nethermost mental style." I know because you know what? It's really real. This seasonal depression is very real. It's very real. Okay, let's see who else we got. We got so feel better. And you know what they say? Oranges. Eat oranges. And that can help with your depression. All right. Joni says she lives in the nethermost part of Minnesota. Shout to Minnesota. All right. What else? Hold on. Why is this doing this? Let's do this. Let's get it back again. Okay. Let's see who else we got. I love when you guys give us the sentences. All right. We got Belfigor in Jordan saying, I've been so bad on the nethermost name on Santa's list. That's a good one. Nasra said Trump should only hold see how it disrespected Nasra? It's supposed to say nethermost, but thermostat positions. But we got you, Nasra. We understand what you're saying. We completely agree with you. And let's get one more. Oh, Dana, having the flu, pneumonia has me in the nethermost. So you would say in the nethermost mood or in the nethermost of health, because nethermost is an adjective. So it has to describe something. So you can't just leave it there. You got to take it to the next level with the adjectives describing something else. So that's that. I like this. But Panthera pointed out citrus is in season in the winter for a reason. There we go. There we go. So that's our word of the day, nethermost. Nethermost. I want to let you all know that I'm going to be doing something at the end of every month. We're not going to do it December because we just started. But at the end of every month, we are going to do a review episode where I will bring on people from the audience to play games that test their knowledge of the content of the past month. Yes. So I'll be testing you on, the words of the day. I'll be testing you on some of our stories. So yeah, this is a class. And you'll win something, by the way. You'll win a pin or whatever I'm selling at the time. So that's something to look forward to, right? Yeah. Could be fun. Ooh, Adrian is viewing from Hawaii. What island? What island? Because that's pretty dope. All right. Are y'all ready to do it? Are y'all ready to get into
Blackberry news, politics, Blackberry news, pop, culture, Blackberry news, sports, Blackberry news, justice.
Okay, so let's get into it. Luigi has pled not guilty on Monday to New York State charges in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. You know, we actually have somebody that we sent there on the scene reporting. And so we're going to actually head on over to these to the courthouse and see what's going on there, because I feel like, you know, we had to have somebody on the ground. We had to have somebody on the ground. Hold on, where's my... Oh, come on. I had made a mustache. Where'd my mustache go? Oh. Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? We here. Yo, we here. We live. Yo, we here. We live. Yo, excuse me. Pardon me. Yo, it's crazy out here, bro. It's crazy out here. We here live at this whole little situation with your man's Luigi. Yo, your man's Luigi? Woo! Wow, yo, it's crazy. It's like a Michael Jackson concert here, yo. These chicks is out here wilding. They out here wilding. But yo, word is born. We just saw his lawyer verbally clock the brat out of your man's Eric Adams. It's me, MC Check-A-Ho, and I'm here live on the scene to have witnessed a verbal murder. All right? A verbal murder. Your man's got mollywopped and mopped at the same time by shorty. He got dog walked in a lady in matching outfits with her client. Yo, whoo. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Y'all. Let me break it down for you. So Luigi, his attorney, her name is Karen Freeman Ignifit. Her name is kind of different for me. Agnifilo, all right? She started out her comments saying, yo, how is my man's supposed to get a fair trial when the NYPD and the feds is out here ping-ponging, bruh, like he's a little, you know what I'm saying, like a little hot potato, okay? And they fighting over my client like some goddamn groupies. Like, what type of shit is that? She was not playing with these people, bro. She was not playing with these people. She said, yo, the feds is parading my client out here like a Pomeranian fresh from the groomer on the Upper East Side. Yo, she did not come to play with them. But then she came for your man, Eric Adams, bruh. Yo, the mayor of New York, first of all, he's a duruntaran, all right? He has expressed his duruntaranness on a regular basis, and I saw it with my own eyes. But you know what? I'm gonna let y'all see it with your own eyes real quick. Hold on. I snuck a camera into the courtroom.
Display for everyone to see in the biggest was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference? And frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone about the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded when he dealing with his own issues. And frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione.
Shorty! Shorty! She said, brat! Brat! Yo, Shorty lit up the courtroom. I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised. Because, yo, your girl, her husband is Puffy's lawyer. Son.
Display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career.
Is Puffy's lawyer. Her husband is Puffy's lawyer. All right? She said, yo, how your mans came down to perp walk my client when he got his own situation he got to focus on. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes, y'all, and it was real in the field. It's not surprising that not only is she a former New York assistant district attorney, she's also married to Puffy's lawyer. And you know what? That's a happy home. It's a happy home because at the end of the day, both of them is going to come up on a bag, even though neither of their clients is going to come home. All right, y'all, that's your man's MC Checker Ho. I got to get home to my daughter. We're going to watch Doc McStuffins. Y'all know what it is. Keep showing love to your girl, Amanda. She right here on Views from AmandaLand, and I'm out here in the streets keeping it 100 with y'all. Peace. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Oh, man. What a time. What a time we're in. What a time. Man, what a time. So, yeah, that happened. That happened in real life, y'all. That happened in real life. And it's going to be crazy to see, but we're all going to watch with our eyes glued to the television. Glued to the television. If you are glued to us here, make sure to subscribe. Please make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to replay the episode after if you didn't get everything. And also, you know, we love a seal dropped in the chat to let us know that you're enjoying what you're watching. And I cannot forget to remind you all that my Patreon exists. You get this and more at my Patreon. You know, you can also listen to the ad-free podcast on my Patreon. You also get additional content, and also you get like lifestyle. You get the side of seals, et cetera, et cetera. Patreon is actually a really good gift to give people for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. It's really a good gift in general because now they've made it to where you can give people Patreon subscriptions. And there's just so many dope creatives on Patreon. Like, don't just think about me, but like shout out to Kev on Stage who's on Patreon, Kimberly Renee who does Why You Bringing Up Old-ish, an incredible Black historian and genealogist. She's on Patreon. You've got Khalil Green, who's an incredible creative, a young brother who's just, you know, incredible with the work he creates. And Patreon is really a space to support content creators who are really dedicated. Like, I don't think Patreon for everything makes sense. Like, some people just have a Patreon for like one thing. And, you know, I get that it's like for their podcast or whatever. But at this point, you have folks like me and the people I named who are doing like entire networks of our work on Patreon. Like, if you subscribe to my Patreon, you get like 16 things for free, no matter what tier you subscribe to. And at the end of the day, you're also supporting me, who is a completely 100% independent artist. I don't have any salary, any corporate supporting me. It's just y'all. So when you subscribe to Patreon and you become a member of the SEAL Squad, that is what you're supporting. And you know what? Shout out to Starboy J, who's reminding y'all, hit the like button on this video right here. Hit the like button on this video right here. Let's get the algorithm going. And thank you, Patricia, for making me the one creator that you can afford. All right, y'all ready to get into our next story, our next Black Here at News story? This one is is a lot. Okay, this one is a lot. I got a lot to talk about, so just stick with me, okay? Hold on, let me get my graphics together. So, Trump. So let me actually, before I even get into this, let me just play the audio. Let me just let y'all hear what Vice President Trump had to say about Panama.
Panama Canal is considered a vital national asset for the United States of America due to its critical role of American economy, the whole world economy, and also national security. The Panama Canal. Has anyone ever heard of the Panama Canal? Because we're being ripped off at the Panama Canal like we're being ripped off everywhere else. A secure, he just said take it back. That's a good idea.
Compatriotas, como presidente, quiero expresar de manera precisa que cada metro cuadrado del Canal de Panamá y su zona adyacente es de Panamá y lo seguirá siendo. La soberanía e independencia de nuestro país no son negociables.
So before we continue, I just want to contextualize something for y'all real quick. I will see people that will say to me, like, what are you doing? What are you doing to find solutions? What are you doing to help, etc.? And we live in a nation that actively suppresses knowledge. When he asked, has anyone heard of Panama? Like, he had to legit ask that because his audience by large may not have actually known that. And so my mission is to educate in a number of ways through the arts. My mission is to educate through the arts in a number of ways. And that is not to educate on information about what's going on in the world, but that's also to educate on ways in which we can find out more about what's going on within ourselves, and then building a bridge to how what's going on with ourselves and our knowledge of that can be an active tool for shifting what's going on in the world into a space of positivity and progression for all that disconnects from capitalism, etc. And we don't understand, a lot of us, what we're seeing when we see something like this. Some people might say, well, oh, it's just Donald, he's just an idiot. Like, he's extra, he's the president, blah, 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 blah. No. This is what we mean when we say neocolonialism. So first of all, the Panama Canal is a major waterway connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. And no, I'm not going to put up a map. I'm not going to put up a map because you all need to go and look this up yourself. Okay? I want you to go and look this up yourself. It allows travelers to avoid an additional 7,000 nautical miles around the tip of South America. So essentially, Panama is in Central America. And instead of boats having to go around South America to get to the United States, it allows them to actually just cut through the Panama Canal. Now, the 51-mile canal, it is owned by the government of Panama, and they've operated through a dedicated agency, the Panama Canal Authority, for 25 years. The U.S. operated the canal during the 20th century, beginning construction in 1904, which is why he said very flippantly, oh, we should just take it back, right? We should just take it back. And it opened in 1914. Revolutionizing global shipping and allowing thousands of cargo freighters and American battleships to pass through every year. Did you hear that last part? Allowing cargo freighters and American battleships to pass through every year. Let me also add that the engineering of the Panama Canal is very incredible to see. It's locks. You have to go into one area and then it closes off and then the water raises you up and then you go into another area. I mean, it's really incredible, ingenious engineering. There were also so many Caribbean people that were brought from the islands to Panama to build this canal. And so many people died. So many people died in the building of this canal. It's actually like something that isn't talked about enough. So Trump has demanded that Panama return the canal to the US because he says the fees that they're being charged are ridiculous. Well, let's see. Why are the fees so high? Variable rates have soared in recent years amid droughts worsened by global heating, which dry up essential reservoirs and reduce the canal's capacity. So here we have somebody who is at the forefront of creating the climate crisis, saying that we're being charged too much by the canal, which is receiving the residual effects of the climate change we're causing. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now, Panama is in the global south. Can anyone tell me what makes a country a member of the global south? Can anyone tell me what is the global south? Can anyone tell me what is the global south? What is the global south? This is a very important topic. Can anyone tell me what is the global south? I saw the chat get still, y'all. The chat gets still. The chat got still. Everybody said below the equator? No, it is not Central America. It is not below the equator. It is Maria. It is Mars F, countries with nethermost gross domestic product. Yes, it is countries exploited by colonizing northern countries. Yes, the global south. And here's a map because I was like, you know what? I'm going to give y'all a map. This is a map of the global south. Now notice how Australia is carved out of this map. Yes, Australia is carved out of this map because Australia is still considered a white member of the European, concept of things. Something that's also fascinating about this too is that it looks like Japan is also not included in this. Now, when we talk about Japan, Japan is unique because Japan, as it is an Asian country, has engaged in a lot of colonizing and is also at this point occupied by the United States. A lot of people don't really realize that after World War II, Japan became the United States. Yes, like literally one of our generals rewrote their constitution and they're not allowed to have an army to do anything offensive. They're only allowed to be a defensive nation. So when we look at this map, we see that the global south does include Panama. So this is Panama over here. Okay, this is Panama. We also see that it includes South America. It includes the entire continent of Africa. Now, one thing I think is also fascinating in here is that they include Israel in the global south, even though for what it's worth, no, Israel is not considered the global south by nature of the fact that it is protected by the United States in such an extreme way. Speaking of Israel, this guy, Benjamin Netanyahu, was actually at the UN, like literally at the UN last year. And he was holding up images of the Middle East. And as you can see there, it says Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Iran, Yemen. And you see how he has them all in black, which, by the way, that's racist in general, because why couldn't it be white and still be the curse? Okay. But he has them labeled as the curse. And then over here on the other side, you're looking at a map that's titled The Blessing. And what that red arrow is that you're looking at is his vision to build a canal through Gaza. Yes. His vision is to build a canal through Gaza because he wants to create an alternative route so that people in these global north countries don't have to go through the Suez Canal, which is run by Egypt. So when you see him there with all of those countries blacked out, and you hear right now about how he's dropping an offense on on Lebanon, on Syria, on Yemen, how they've been trying to get Iran into a war, what we're actually seeing in real time is a land grab beyond Palestine. What you're seeing in real time is a game of colonization on a level that a lot of us are not really grasping. I used to play this war game called I think it was Risk when I was young, super young, and I would win this game every time. And we would play it backstage when I was dancing at Disney when I was 8. We would play it backstage. Then we go on stage and be like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. But backstage, I would be playing this war game. And so because of my autism, I also have the ability to see pattern recognition. And ultimately what we're watching is just the pattern recognition of these folks attempting to do a global colonizing act of war. So when they're trying to start a war in this part of the world, baby, it's not just to start a war. It's also not just for oil. When you hear that the Panama Canal is used for bringing American warships through, that should trigger a thought in your mind. And I want all of you all to go and do your own reading to see if you agree with me. I'm just saying, this is very loudly what we're seeing. And they're not even hiding it. Trump has also said that he wants to just buy Greenland. This is egregious. This is egregious. And Chantrell is calling it out. We're seeing a new world order being built. Globalization is not always considered just for the positive. If you watch Star Wars, you're literally watching the birth of the empire on a whole other level. This is the end of the first 3 Star Warses, when Senator Palpatine manages to take over the whole joint. Trump and them are not looking to just simply be fascists running America. You look at Russia, you look at China, you look at India, they're trying to squat up because, baby, these folks are really focused. It's another land grab happening in our time via the sea. And, I wish I could tell you I have a solution. Sometimes it's not about solution as much as just about knowing so that you can have some concept of what's happening in your world and not be a drone. Not just be a drone sitting around receiving whatever is told to you. There's so many folks out here that just don't even realize that they're being lied to. I was one of them. I say it all the time. And in the last year, I came to see the light. I came to see the light. And I really appreciate all of you all for joining me in that. Because I don't think we can fight darkness unless we can see the light. And the light is the truth. I mean, look at what my shirt says. Nope. I had to flip it. I had to flip my shirt to the back because the words was shining through. The words were shining through, so I had to flip my shirt to the back. Let's see if y'all can see it on the back. Hold on. Can you see it? No? I'm gonna wear this shirt another day. The shirt says "Living Truth." Man. Someone said send help. Send help. You know what? We are gonna send help. Let's do this real quick. Show your love. Show your love. Are you enjoying yourself? Show your love. Show your love. I said, hit me in the cash app, baby. Hit me in the cash app, baby. Show your love. Show your love. Show your love. Show your love with a super or a cash app, baby. Because I do this show for free. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, 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 wow. Pass the collection blade. Pass it on, babe. Pass the collection blade. Pass it on, babe. Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. I just need y'all to know. I would be doing this, like singing this. I'm singing this in the house without y'all. And see, Michelle said, Jordy gotta eat. Jordy gotta eat. He do. Jordy, what you doing? Jordy's sleeping. Jordy been watching the snow all morning. Jordy's sleeping. But I'm excited to get into our next story because it's just so necessary to just ever so often hit you, hit you with one of these because it's tough out here. It's tough out here, and we need to have
A story of Black joy.
we got to do it. We got to have a story of Black joy. So let's get into it. Now, I don't know if you all know about KOWACIE Reeves Jr., but this brother is just, I mean, you know, when you see these like press conferences with these athletes, you be like, oh my God, like, I hope somebody's helping them out. I hope somebody's looking out for them. This is a brother right here who just blew my mind with just this one interview. Okay. So he's a 6'7" shooting guard from Macon, Georgia. He's a senior at Georgia Tech. He has a bright future ahead of him. And it's not just because he's a hella talented basketball player, but because of responding like this in press conferences.
I would say what I've changed in my game really don't have too much to do with basketball. I would say what I've changed in my game really don't have too much to do with basketball. It got everything to do with, you know, my personal journey of self-discovery and humanizing myself, because we get lost in that a lot of times in regards of basketball. And that's another reason why I came to Georgia Tech, because they put trust in a man that delves into ethics and morality first before the ball starts bouncing. And he's really helped me with that journey. So I would say this summer, that's what I've worked on, and that has allowed me to inadvertently be able to serve my teammates better. And that gives me a perspective that's only going to think about what's in the best interest for Georgia Tech as an institution and as a basketball program. So I would say that's what I've worked on the most in my game.
Y'all, now, I don't want to use the phrase he's so articulate, because that's not what it's about. It's about him being able to articulate his journey and his vision of himself within this bigger picture in such a deeply introspective way. Can we watch it again? Can we watch it again, y'all? I would love to watch it again now that we have like watched it as like he's a, like, first you were watching it like, okay, he's a basketball player, but now I want you to watch it again and just listen, because I think what he's saying, even though it's relative to him, it applies to all of us. Listen again.
I would say what I've changed in my game really don't have too much to do with basketball. It got everything to do with, you know, my personal journey of self-discovery and humanizing myself, because we get lost in that a lot of times in regards of basketball. And that's another reason why I came to Georgia Tech, because they put trust in a man that delves into ethics and morality first before the ball starts bouncing. And he's really helped me with that journey. So I would say this summer, that's what I've worked on, and that has allowed me to inadvertently be able to serve my teammates better. And that gives me a perspective that's only going to think about what's in the best interest for Georgia Tech as an institution and as a basketball program. So I would say that's what I've worked on the most in my game.
Now, someone said simple words, brilliant message, Chiata Spears, but that man said inadvertently. That's not a simple word, especially in the United States of terrible education opportunities. I just loved seeing this, and it spoke to me directly, because when they asked him, like, how have you improved your game? Someone this morning was like, Amanda, you look like you're glowing. And the reason you may feel like I look like I'm glowing, and I responded to them, I said, I'm glowing because it's the flames on my wings. I've walked through many fires in the past 2 years, and I'm still intact. And then I use the Phoenix emoji. There is something so necessary in the work to do self-examination and self-exploration. And I talk about it in my new book, Body Waving Through the Bullshit, which is going to drop in fall 2025. But just what it to me feels like is the reconnecting to your soul in its original form when it got here, before all of these other things shaped these walls that go around it to protect it within this human realm. But once you really start breaking down those walls and start getting to like your true soul, your true self, you just see how much more valuable you are to the world, to the earth, to people, to yourself. And your glow to me is literally like your soul. It's literally this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine. Ooh, I'm gonna let it shine. One more time. I said, this little light of mine. Hey, hey, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Amen. Yes. Yes. That's how I feel. So shout out. Michael Trineri said, I'm in that process myself now. The work is real. It is. But you know what it's like? It's like the mental version of going to the gym. My ex is a terrible person, but he ever so often would say like really poignant things. That's how I end up with terrible people, because they'll say a poignant thing and I'll hold on to that poignant thing through all of the whackness until they get to another poignant thing. And I'll be like, see? No. Anyways, Michael Trineri, my ex, is he was a trainer at one point, and he was like, you know, when you're working out, your body, when you start working out, gets weak first and then it gets strong. But a lot of times people don't push through the weak part. You know, they really struggle with the fact that their body is weak and they can't like get over the hump of the week, and so they give up and they don't continue working out. But he was like, no, the first thing that happens when you start working out is that body has to adjust, and then the strength comes. That's what it feels like when we're doing self-work. Yes, Teresa Heinrich, he was good for something. He was good for something. So here we are. So shout out to KOWACIE Reeves, man. Shout out to KOWACIE Reeves. What an incredible person. Just, you know, what an incredible person. Are y'all ready to get into some 60-second headlines? 60-second headlines is coming at you. Okay, let's get into some 60-second headlines. Where are we starting? Well, let's start with LA. Okay, so LA County is canceling medical debt. And let me just tell you, like, I know you're like, what do you mean? That's a thing that can be done? Yes, it's a thing that can be done. Okay. The LA County Department of Public Health is canceling medical debt. It's launched the Medical Debt Relief Program, an initiative aimed to eliminate debt that disproportionately affects vulnerable communities. Due to this new pilot program, an estimated 150,000 residents, okay, will soon have their medical debt cleared. And officials announced Monday that thousands more will be notified in the coming month of similar news. Now, county officials said the program will initially eliminate $500 million in debt by using $5 million of investment money to the nonprofit undue medical debt purchase. And they're going to let me say that again. So the way they're doing this is that the county will eliminate $500 million of debt by using a $5 million investment to the nonprofit undue medical debt. And then they're going to purchase medical debt for pennies on the dollar for low-income residents. Now, I don't know about y'all, but baby, that don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense to me. And maybe y'all know more, and I'm sure y'all do. But residents in LA County do not need to apply. Recipients will receive a letter from LA County and undue medical debt, informing them that their bill has been paid. So someone in here said these doctors are probably mad as heck, but there's no reason for the doctors to be mad as heck because the doctors are getting their money. And then you have someone saying, shout out to Luigi. And I'm going to leave that there. To qualify, residents must make under 400% of the federal poverty level, roughly $60,000, and a medical bill must be past due. So basically the debt gets bought by a collections agency. But this is my point, Miss Tiff. Money really is made up. Money is made up. None of this makes, listen, money is made up. Made up. I mean, nonetheless, like, let's not look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm glad that this is happening. And I hope it becomes a copy and paste across the nation. You know, but I just thought that was wild, and wild in the best way. Wild in the best way. But again, it becomes just a moment of clarity that this is not far-fetched, which is what we talk about with reparations. You know, we always talk about with reparations that there's this idea that it's just impossible. And the reality is that they were able to give people checks during the pandemic straight to your house. So why aren't they able to do the same with reparations? It's because they don't want to. And I talk about that in my one-woman show, What Would the Ancestors Say? I talk about how this nation has never culturally moved past the concept of slavery. Never. And because of that, this nation is committed to keeping folks under the white supremacist thumb. If you want to check out my one-woman show, What Would the Ancestors Say? You can actually go to... where can you go? You can go to Patreon. Yeah, you can go to Patreon and check that out. What Would the Ancestors Say? I actually have a promo for it, but I forgot to add it into the show outline today. So there we are. All right, so let's get to it. Our next story is DEI dies another death. So Blavity.com reports that Harvard Law School has recorded its lowest enrollment of Black students in decades. Decades, y'all. Decades. Okay? The school enrolled 19 first-year Black students as opposed to 43. 19 and 43 is a big difference. Okay? 19 and 43 is a big difference. Last year, according to data from the American Bar Association on Monday, for reference, typically the school records between 50 to 70 Black students in its first year class. Remember, we're speaking about the Harvard Law school, Harvard Law School. Now, some of you might be like, well, what's the catalyst? Well, this obviously has a lot to do with the chilling effect created by that decision, Harvard Law professor David B. Wilkins said, referencing the Supreme Court's appeal of affirmative action. Can anyone here define affirmative action? Can anyone here define affirmative action? Can anyone here define affirmative action? While we're doing that, thank you to Jason Rodriguez. Amanda, you was a pleasure to work with at Radio on Baltimore, Maryland. I enjoyed waking. We was up early, baby. We was up at the bug crack of dawn to serve you. Thank you for the opportunity to work with you. Happy holiday, DJ J Rod. Thank you, Jason Rodriguez. You know they canceled my show, Jason. They canceled my show, Jason. They canceled my show. But thank y'all. Y'all were so lovely. And for it to be that early and y'all to be that jovial, I really do appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. 92Q, baby. 92Q. Okay, so can anyone tell me what affirmative action is? Okay, we got Christopher Weiss, policies that attempt to end discrimination. Rolando Didi, affirmative action, no hateration in this dancery. That is also correct. That is also correct. Yes. Sarah said, I'll try, but even Eugen, a guideline to enroll students from minorities representatively, that this is the... Okay, this is what I was looking for, Sarah. This is what I was looking. Sarah, remind me where you're watching from. Remind me where you're watching from, Sarah. So, what happens too often is that affirmative action is misrepresented and misplaced as lowering standards to include individuals from underrepresented communities. However, that is not what affirmative action does. It expands, not lowers. It is not a vertical expansion. It is a parallel expansion, okay? It is horizontal because ultimately what affirmative action does is it says, oh, we were only looking at this little group of people. Let's expand our awareness to this group of people, acknowledging that there are other really smart people beyond white people. That's all affirmative action did. You know, when we have these colleges that were founded by these old white people that initially were supposed to be just for white people, they never appreciated Black people coming into their schools. I mean, y'all remember that they had like all types of protests and National Guard, all of this. They've never wanted Black people to be considered equal, ever. And so college tuition didn't start being a thing until Black people could actually attend school. So this SAT thing, also, standardized tests were not created until Black people could attend school. All of these things are created to be barriers to prevent Black people, and then of course that expanded to brown people and Asian people, etc., to prevent them from being allowed into their halls of academia. This has been the way. Affirmative action said, we're going to say that you all cannot only keep a slim focus in how you view who can attend your school. And it's not about the skill set of that person, because the skill set should remain the same. It's not about the brilliance. It's not about the coursework. All of that should remain the same. The only thing that's changing is that you are expanding your interests beyond one group of people to include a broader scope of people. That is what affirmative action really is. And they will tell you over and over again that it is something else, and it is not. And I hope that this definition is something that you can use when you are having these conversations with other people, because it's a clear and concise definition. And I will always tell you, the truth is a short route. The truth is a short route. When people come with long paragraphs and stop. The truth is a short route, period. Affirmative action is not about lowering standards. It's about expanding who is integrated at the same level of quality. That's it. That's it. The truth is a short route. Now, in 1965, 15 Black students enrolled at Harvard Law. That was in 1965. Okay. So that means that here we are in 2024. I don't do math, but that's, what's that, like 60 years? I don't do math. So the school enrolled 19 folks this year, 43 Black folks last year, and in 1965, 15. By the way, there's also been a decline in Hispanic students, 39 students as opposed to 63 students in 2023. 39 students as opposed to 63 students in 2023. So, also, we also can point out that the Asian folks that was joining with Edward Bloom to cancel affirmative action, they still had their high, they were still, there was an increase in the white and Asian population at Harvard Law School, but they also complained that in the undergrad, there was a decrease in Asian matriculation. So, in other words, that's where you played yourself. You see, you should have been with Dr. Connie One, who was on the show last week, who was like, no, we have to be responsible for each other. We have to be responsible for each other. Yes. Yes, we do. All right, we got one more. We got one more story in our 60-second headlines. If y'all are still with me, please let me know where you're from, where you are. Please make sure that you tell a friend. That's my one request for Christmas. That's my request for Christmas. My request for Christmas is that you tell at least one person about Views from AmandaLand, and that this goes down every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's my one request, that you tell somebody about Views from AmandaLand. So let's see. We got our second batch. It's the second hour, 11 a.m. We got folks checking in from, thank you, Branson. We got folks checking in from Albany, San Antonio, España, New Jersey. Thank you, Janess. Great headlines. North Carolina, baby. Texas, unfortunately. Houston. This is in response to the Asian folks who were a part of ending. This is in response to the Asian folks who were a part of ending affirmative action and then complaining that they were not accepted into schools at higher numbers this year. Like, ugh, my goodness. We got Eric McKay, Suffering, New York. Brandon's coming from the SIP. And we got The Hague is still rocking with us. The Hague is still rocking with us. Thank y'all so much. Orlando is still rocking with us. We got Be More. And Michael's hitting us from Kansas City, Missouri. All right, so let's get into this last, okay, sorry, I just like saying Tejas. North of San Antonio, Tejas. Okay, so let's get into this last 60-second headline before we get into my Christmas carol, The 12 Days of Ickmas. Okay. Lima, Peru is still presente. All right, so the State Department has lost yet another official over the trash policies that the United States is engaging in with Israel. Let's check out Mike Casey, in his own words, talking to Al Jazeera about why he decided to become the latest government official to resign from the State Department.
I was too embarrassed, really, to continue being an American diplomat after what we witnessed in terms of our policies there. And, there were some key moments when President Biden said he didn't believe the number of people who were killed in Gaza when I was the one writing those numbers was one. So I was in the State Department for 15 years and did several assignments, mostly across Asia, last in Jerusalem. My main focus was on Gaza. I focused on that sort of all day, every day, and then also supervised colleagues who worked on other Palestinian political issues, such as Palestinian politics, prisoner abuses, settlement expansion, and that sort of thing. The reports we were writing before October 7th were bad, and then, of course, they're 100 times worse after October 7th. Beforehand, it just, especially in the humanitarian aspects of Gaza, you just could not get people to read them. You couldn't get people to care. Unless if you wrote something about Hamas and they're speculating on what they wanted to do, people would read it. But about just suffering in Gaza, there was no audience for that. After October 7th, obviously there was a big focus on it. Everybody wanted to know about Gaza and was focused in on it, but then it was really picking apart the numbers we were writing and saying, well, are you sure this number's right? How do we know this number's right? The Israelis have told us they're limiting operations. Okay, why aren't we seeing the casualty numbers go down? They told us they're letting more trucks in. Why aren't we seeing the numbers of trucks go up? We don't pursue our own goals. We just pursue Israeli goals. And any actions we take with Palestinians is just to basically pacify them while the Israeli government continues to expand settlements and demolish homes and do whatever it is that they want to do. And then after October 7th, all that just got 10 times worse. And we decided pretty early on, around January 2024, that we needed to leave Jerusalem early. And I looked actually into staying in the department for a while, but then I just realized I'm not going to be able to go to another job and work on it. I'm not going to go to a desk and work on trade issues or something like that. Being not believed by my own government, and this wasn't just me, not being believed was really a shock. I've never had that in my career anywhere else.
Man, that's wild, right? That's wild, because I don't think a lot of people until this scenario came to real life in such a loud, explosive, pun intended, way in Palestine. I don't think a lot of people who worked for the government realized just how terrible the government was. So I think it's really incredible that, okay, some of y'all are probably going to be like, why is it incredible? This is this man's entire career. Like, he was in the service, then he became a diplomat. Like, he's been there for 20 years. This is somebody who, by nature of the fact that he came from the service, has more than likely been indoctrinated over time to what America is all about, these fake ideals that we keep hearing Kamala Harris talk about, etc. And it took him being a diplomat. He was also doing diplomat work in Asia before he ended up in Palestine. But I imagine that he went there thinking that he was doing the thing that America loves to say it's doing, which is bringing diplomacy, bringing democracy, bringing infrastructure. And so to see it in real time, he's like, wait, this is crazy. And there's a whole story that just came out on Haaretz about these soldiers in the IOF and how they really feel about the work that they do. And it is frightening. It is literally deeply frightening. And I was going to literally talk about it on the show. And I just was like, I'll put the link, but I can't. It's so disgusting and scary. I'll talk about it on my Patreon. I'll talk about it on my Patreon. That these are human beings. And I know that this person got to a point where he had to say, am I still human if I'm here? Am I still human if I'm here? And he had to get out of there. He had to get on out of here. And I commend him for that. I commend him for that in a real way. So shout out to Mike Casey. There's been other individuals in the State Department that have stepped down. I can't remember the guy's name, but the first one to step down was the guy who was like, why do we keep sending weapons to Israel? Like, this is not okay. This is against the Leahy law. The Leahy law says that we are not supposed to send weapons to anywhere that is preventing humanitarian aid to its civilians. And since this has been proven over and 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 over again in Gaza, why is that Leahy law not being implemented? And he was like, oh, get me out of here. Get me out of here. So it's y'all are leaving a lot of comments, so I'm going to read some of them. Lord Frankie the Cat says the government has a form of engineering companies to fill out to bid on development projects here that ask if you support Izzy, but there's another form that you have to completely denounce relations with Iran. Okay. Luna Bear says it's right up there with cognitive dissonance. So many people unintentionally push back on reality because it means they would have to reckon with their entire core existence. And to do that is hard. Sarah says, also folks should, I think you missed the word, into the Christmas market interest in Germany. Oh, yes. Folks should look into the Christmas market terrorist in Germany last week and how Musk deleted all of his pro-Greater Izzy and Muslim hate posts from X. So there was an incident that took place in Germany where a man drove a car into a Christmas market. And X, meaning Elon Musk's platform that he owns, on this platform, the man had put all of this pro-Izzy stuff and, really deplorable things that Elon Musk erased. Erased. So I just want y'all to know that you are in here with folks that are expanding their minds and their hearts. We have 592 people watching live. I wonder if we'll get to 600, but you all are here with a bunch of people who are about expanding in general. So we're going to get to that. I'll talk about that later in the show. So that's our 60-second headlines, y'all. That's our 60-second headlines. And I need to just take a, let me just take a brain break real quick. Okay. Let me just take a brain break real quick. Okay, ever so often, you just gotta take a brain break. When I take my brain break, y'all should take your brain break too. All right, because it's a lot of info. It's a lot of info. However, now it is time. It is time, folks, for us to get into the holiday spirit with my new holiday my new holiday carol. Okay, it's time for us to get into the 12 days of Xmas. Now, an ick, for those who don't know, is when somebody does something that just makes you be like, ew. Like, ew. I don't like that. An ick is when somebody is like, just making you feel some type of way that just doesn't vibe with you. Okay. And so let's get into the 12 days of Xmas. Now, I've decided I'm not going to put y'all through all 12 days of Christmas verse. So we just going to start at the end. And that's how we going to do it. On the 12 days of Xmas. Let me start again. So I decided I'm not going to put y'all through the whole 12 days of Xmas. We're going to start at the end. On the 12th day of Xmas, a cornball gave to me 12 MAGA hats, 11 cyber trucks, 10 pairs of Yeezys, 9, let's go 50-50 at 8, jeans like leggings, 7, IG selfie, 6, I don't do condoms, 5, times you played R. Kelly, 450 credit score, 3 baby mamas, 2 pending cases, and a text that red grand rising, and a text that red grand rising. The Ickmas. If anybody sends you a hey big head, that can be your honorable mention on this holiday. Happy Festivus! Those are your 12 days of Ickmas, y'all. Your 12 days of Ickmas, 12 MAGA hats, 11 Cybertrucks, 10 pairs of Yeezys. Let's go 50-50. Jeans like leggings, 7 IG selfies, 8 I don't do condoms, 5 times you played R. Kelly, a 450 credit score, 3 baby mamas, 2 pending cases, and a text that read Grand Rising. Yeah. Those are your 12 days of Ickmas. Those are your 12 days of Ickmas. Man, if you enjoyed that, make sure to show some love. Make sure to show some love and drop a super. Make sure to show some love and drop a super, or hit me in the Cash App, baby. I'm very proud of that song. I'm very proud of that song. Very proud of it. What are some of y'all's icks? What are some of y'all's icks? Yes, credits are racist and sexist. That doesn't mean that at present they are not representative of if you have your act together. So there's that reality too. And a lot of people who I have dated that do have terrible credit scores, it has nothing to do with racism or sexism and everything to do with them just not paying their bills and just being irresponsible. Yeah. Does anybody else? Grand Rising. Grand Rising is an ick for me. Grand Rising is an ick for me. Yes. So Diddy was in the 12 days of Ickmas, but I removed it because Cybertrucks bothered me more than when, like, because basically Diddy was in the 12 days of Ickmas as like Diddy baby oil. But then I was like, Amanda, you wouldn't talk to anybody that could get their hands on Diddy baby oil. So like, let's not even do that. People hate Grand Rising, I think, because it just feels like Hotep pretentious. I think that's why. It just feels like a Hotep pretentiousness. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like Grand Rising. Carmen said her ick is pardoning white collar criminals. Oh, Renice. WYD on the daily. Yes. That is a huge ick. Natalie Gutierrez said one of my icks is passive aggression. Girl, you ain't never lie. You ain't never lie. Oh my God. Andre Lake, if you don't know what Cybertrucks are, look them up and don't ever look at them again. They're so annoying. They're so annoying. Icks, we hate borrowing money and forgetting to pay the person back you borrowed from, or just choosing not to pay it back. Like my ex, who still owes me $4,000 for paying to fix his car. And literally the day we broke up earlier that day, I was like, so what's going on with the bread? Because it was a loan. So what's going on with the bread? What is it? What is it? Yeah. So we got to remember Elon Musk is the ultimate ick. Okay? The ultimate ick. And this is a rare occasion, but I'm going to say this one from Instagram, even though you really should be over here at YouTube watching the show. Psychological terms in pop culture. Yes. Because people be using these words and not even knowing what they're talking about. They don't even know what they're talking about. So, weaponized incompetence. Yes. Icky, icky, icky. Icky, icky, icky. Icky, icky, icky. Yes, Natalie Gutierrez. I do have that other ex that owes me money from bailing him out, though. And so really what this reveals is that I have to stop giving men money because I am smart money. So why? Why, Amanda? Because I'm also smart, funny, and way too generous. That's why. Okay? Way too generous. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Wow, that was a take back to my days at what's it called? Insecure. Why must, what's it called? My days at Insecure. Oh man, it's been a good one, y'all. It's been a good one. We did it. We did it. We sat here, we talked, we chatted, we laughed, all the good stuff. And it's time to get into our public seals announcement, the PSA. So here's the thing. Someone said to me, you know, Amanda, you're pretty, but you're not going to really get anywhere just talking with yourself. You need to talk to people that have different points of view than you, people that believe other things than you. First of all, I've already gotten many places, so that's irrelevant. But two, the concept of you need to talk to people that think differently than you has nuance to it. So here in the internet space, folks simply think you need to talk to people that disagree with you. Well, if you're disagreeing with me is not based on research, if you're disagreeing with me is not based on actual facts, if you have to lie to disagree with me, what are we doing? I'm not having conversations. I'm definitely not having debates with people who lie. I'm not having debates with people who also have a very severely different value system. Now, I know that is a form of entertainment and also a form of intellectualism that a lot of people engage in. For instance, Mark Lamont Hill, he loves a debate. He'll debate a terrible person any day of the week just to expose their terror. But that's not me. I don't consider that to be a good use of my time. And when you all are at the family holiday gatherings this week, I want you to think about where is the value in your conversations, in preserving your energy. There's going to be people at that dinner that are liars. There's going to be people at that dinner that have very disparate value systems than you. There are going to be people at those dinners that also haven't done the research. Just watching Fox News or listening to one of these podcasters talk with their sunglasses on inside is not research. So when you're in that situation, I want you to ask yourself what the benefit of the conversation will be. And I'll tell you this, there is a benefit when there are enough people watching that are willing to listen, can hear you. That is the only time I say that there's a benefit in having those conversations. When you're demonstrating for people that don't know and wouldn't know until they heard you speak. So as far as I'm concerned, a lot of the conversations that people want me to get in are with audiences that either already agree with me or that are committed to disagreeing. And baby, that's a waste of mine and their time. So I want to wish everybody a happy holiday. Tomorrow is Christmas here in the United States. So a lot of people are going to be at home and quiet and, loud, etc., opening presents and all that good stuff. And I know that it's going to be a bit of a doozy for some of us. So as we end every show, I will hit us with a 30 seconds of stillness, not just for the show, but also to center yourselves for tonight and tomorrow's celebrations. That's your 30 seconds of stillness, y'all. We out of here. Everybody, remember, we do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right here, 10 a.m. Eastern. Remember to please subscribe Also, if you watch the show again, because we love a replay, we love the replay, make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section, because that really is an incredibly important way for traveling this through the algorithm. And I want to remind you that you can also subscribe to my Patreon and join the SEAL Squad. I am very excited about tomorrow's episode. I have a great episode put together for tomorrow. It's Christmas themed, but in ways that you can only expect from me, your favorite artistic, intellectual Amanda Seales. Everybody remember, we are each other's business. When we look out for each other, we lift each other up. Sick in the Head always reminds you to tap that like button. So, oh my gosh, where'd you go? To tap that like button. So make sure you do that. Shout out to everybody who is telling their friend, who's following instructions and telling a friend about Views from AmandaLand. It's been a great one, and we'll see you tomorrow.